Hello there, Media Medley. I am Brit, and I am very excited to be doing this and finally getting to do this series that I have wanted to do for so long. Some of you might not know, I love anime. Ever since I was a kid, I just loved all the cool powers and the characters and all that. It really gravitated towards me. And the one show that really got me and really hooked me into anime is a little show called Naruto. It's about this little kid who grows up in a ninja village, and he wants to be the strongest ninja in that village, but he has this demon fox that's sealed away inside of him. And so that leads to conflict, and people are after him, and it's this whole thing. And I loved it. But then Shippuden happened, and it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't great. The magic, for some reason, had been lost, and just further and further on it went. It just got worse and worse, and then you get to the final arc, and yeah. Needless to say, it was a disappointment of a final arc, and not the ending that the series deserved. And then I got this idea in my mind. I thought to myself, what if I just rewrote Naruto? Like, let's say that Kishimoto would come down from the heavens on his pile of money that he made from his super successful series and was like, hey, you, random white kid, you're gonna write Naruto. And that is what I am doing today. And this is the first part of my series, where I'm going to be going arc by arc by arc and rewriting the series. Now, I do want to put that there are a couple caveats with this. Firstly, is in the beginning of Naruto, it runs really, really fast, and there's a lot of exposition. So, this series is going to have kind of a snowball effect. In the beginning, we're not going to see as many changes. I'm going to be going basically off of what Kishimoto was doing, but as time progresses, more and more and more things will change until it's essentially a different series by the end of it. Secondly, I'm not going to be doing anything to the first two episodes. I think that those are solid. They set up the world and the story very well. I don't have any problems with them, and I really don't think that I could have done anything different in them that would be that different and also not mess everything up. And just a disclaimer, this is just a video series that I wanted to make. Take it like fan fiction. I just really enjoy the series, and I want to give kind of my take, my interpretation of what I would have done. So if you don't like some of the choices that I make, or you think that I'm messing the series up, don't worry. The series is always going to be there. This is just my take on it. I've delayed far too long, so let us get right into the video. So, like I said, the first two episodes are staying the same. So, you still have the introduction, where they set up the whole ninja world, Naruto, and how he's got the nine-tailed fox in him. Naruto still fails his Genin exam, and goes to get the scroll from Mizuki, and gets the Shadow Clone Jutsu from that scroll, and beats up Mizuki, and Iruka believes in him, gives him the headband. All that. Episode 2 rolls around, and he meets Konohamaru, teaches him the sexy jutsu, and beats Ebisu with the harem jutsu. So all of that remains the same. And we're going to start at episode 3, chapter 3, whatever you want to call it. And we start with Naruto waking up and getting ready for his graduation. And the first thing that we are changing is he doesn't drink the soiled milk. The humor in Naruto, even at the beginning, is very kind of hit and miss, and I really do believe that the whole soiled milk, like, oh, ha ha ha, he's, he has to go to the bathroom. That's a miss. I think that that's really kind of stupid, and it kind of makes Naruto seem really stupid that he was drinking soiled milk during that. So I'm scrapping that. He's just getting up, getting ready. He's super excited about finally getting to be a genin, finally starting his ninja journey, and he's on his path to Hokage. So he gets up, he gets ready, and he goes to the academy where he meets Konohamaru, and that whole thing is the exact same where Konohamaru trips, and he's like, oh, you're my rival. And Naruto's like, I don't have time for you, kid. I gotta go be a ninja. And Konohamaru's like, a ninja? So, yeah, all of that the same. He makes his way to the academy, and we switch over to Sakura. In this series, I'm going to be focusing a lot on Sakura. In my opinion, I feel as though she is so underutilized. She gets her moments, but as one of the main characters, she's constantly shafted for Naruto and Sasuke for accolades that should be her own. And I really want to give Sakura the credit I feel as though she deserves. Now, Sakura's getting ready. She's just like in the beginning, and she heads down. She's on the street, and she's making her way to the academy, bumps into Ino, and they get into their whole, like, passive-aggressive tussle, like, billboard brow, Ino pig, bitch, slut, all that stuff. So I would add one more thing. During that passive-aggressive argument that they're having about, who's gonna marry Sasuke, Ino says there's no way that Sasuke would ever want to be with a nobody like you. This is going to come into play later. Anyway, they continue down the street, hurling insults at each other. They're racing down the street, they finally get to the academy, and everybody's there. Naruto's bragging like, hey, I'm a genin now, ha ha ha, you thought I wasn't going to do it. Then Sakura and Ino, they make their way over to Sasuke, who's sitting in the corner like he was, just, pouting, being emo, like Sasuke is. And they're arguing over who's gonna sit next to him and all that. And Naruto takes notice of this, like he does, but instead of getting up on the table and just staring at him, he just calls him out. He's like, oh, you think you're so high and mighty, Sasuke, because you're, super talented and everything. And Sasuke at this point is egotistical Sasuke, which is the best Sasuke. And Sasuke is just sitting there, and he's like, oh, you pathetic worm. Get out of my way, you loser. You're nothing to me. You just got that because Iruka took pity on you. And then Naruto gets pissed. And Naruto's like, what did you say? How about we settle this? We're both genin now. Let's take this out to the courtyard and prove who is the best ninja. And Sakura, she's kind of like, oh no, Naruto's antagonizing Sasuke. I can't have this. And so she's trying to break this whole thing up. And then finally, Iruka comes in, and he gives everybody their squads. And everybody gets put into the same squads that they were. I'm not changing any of the squads up. They're good squads. So, Shikacho's together, Akiba, Shino, and Hinata, and of course, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. And when Naruto hears this, like, his blood starts to boil. He can't believe that he's gonna be on a team with Sasuke. And so once the teams are selected, Naruto confronts Sasuke during lunch. And Naruto goes, look, I'm not having you in my team. Okay? I don't need your help. I'm gonna be Hokage. And I don't need help from a little worm like you, Sasuke. And Sasuke, of course, being egotistical Sasuke, the best Sasuke, he goes, oh, you're so cocky. How about we finally finish this, okay? Let's prove who's the best ninja, and I'll wipe the floor with you, and then you can finally admit that I'm just better than you. And Naruto's like, you know what? Let's do it. And so they're ready to square off, and Sakura, she comes in and she's trying to defuse the situation, mainly focusing on Naruto, trying to get him to stop. And she's just like, Naruto, stop antagonizing Sasuke. Sasuke's so perfect. And Naruto's not having any of this. And then Sakura turns to Sasuke, is like, come on, Sasuke, you don't really want to, like, wipe the floor with him. Like, we all know you can, but come on. We don't want to see that. We know you're better. And Sasuke's not budging either. And so the two of them, they square up in the courtyard. And you know that fight that they love to show in Shippuden when they're like 8 years old? And Sasuke just beats the ever-loving crap out of Naruto? Yeah, that's essentially... that fight is gonna go here. And Naruto puts up a valiant effort, you know, he's showing that he's got these shadow clones, and even that catches Sasuke off guard. He's like, what? I didn't know that he could actually make clones, but Sasuke floors him, and it's over. The bell rings, and they all go back to class, and Naruto's defeated. This is the first time we've ever seen Naruto, like, actually lose at something, so it shows that he has a ways to go. There are people, even in his own class, who are better than him, and he needs to progress further so that he can become Hokage. And then you can have Sasuke going back to class, and Sakura comes up to him and gives that really, really tone-deaf speech about how, oh, the reason that Naruto is such a bad person is because he doesn't have any parents. You know, that whole thing, not realizing that, you know, Sasuke doesn't have any parents either. And Sasuke just loses it with her. Because during the fight, he actually started to gain, like, a modicum of respect. And he gives the response that he does in the original. It's not about not wanting to get punished. It's about the loneliness. And you don't understand that because you're so annoying. And he walks off, and Sakura's like, oh, well, I made him mad. And she just walks off. And so every member of Team 7 is at a low point at this point. And at the very end, we get the whole crystal ball Hokage thing. And that's where we meet Kakashi. They're looking at Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto, and all he says is, Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto Uzumaki. This is gonna be an interesting team. And so we continue on, and now we get to them waiting in the classroom. Everyone else has been paired up, and they've met their Jonins, and they're off. And they're just waiting there, you know, twiddling their thumbs like they do. So they're waiting for Kakashi, and Naruto puts the little eraser up on the door. Kakashi finally comes in, eraser hits his head, and he looks around, just like in the original. Again, you're going to be hearing a lot of this. But he looks around, just goes, my first impression? You're a bunch of morons. Alright, come on. Let's get to know each other. So they're outside, and he's going through, like, okay, what do you like, what do you dislike, and all that stuff, and says, okay, we're going to be doing our first training session, first thing in the morning, get here early, and don't eat lunch, just like in the original. They get there, they're tired, they're exhausted, they're hungry. Kakashi finally shows up, much later than them, and the 2 bells exam starts. And just like in the original, they're not working together. It's one at a time. In fact, they're actually actively working against each other. Naruto is fighting, and Sasuke takes the advantage to go and try and grab for one of the bells, and Naruto gets really mad at Sasuke, and it's like, what are you doing? I've got this. And Sasuke's like, don't tell me what to do, loser. They're butting heads. They're not working together, and Kakashi floors them. And so finally, they're all defeated. Naruto's strewn up on the post. He can't move because, you know, of course, he had to try and eat before everyone else. And Kakashi gives that whole speech about teamwork and how all of his friends are dead and teamwork is so important in a ninja team. And he gives them that second chance, says, okay, if you don't feed Naruto, you got 3 hours to do it, and this time you gotta act like a team. And that goes just like it does, where they're eating, Naruto's like, I don't need food, and then his stomach starts to growl. Sasuke tries to offer him his food, and then Sakura offers hers. When Naruto takes a bite of Sakura's food, Kakashi comes back. But here's the difference. He comes back and he's just like, what on earth do you think you're doing? And Sakura goes on about how they're one and they're a team now and they're gonna fight together and they're gonna eat together and all that stuff. And while Sakura is saying this, Sasuke takes out a kunai and cuts the ropes to Naruto's bindings. Naruto jumps out and they all start to work as a team to take down Kakashi. Sakura's throwing kunais, Sasuke's fighting hand to hand, Naruto's doing shadow clones, and eventually, finally, they work together and Naruto's just about to grab them. He gets his hands around them, he's like, I got him, we won, guys! Pulls them. It turns out that that was a clone of Kakashi, and Kakashi's standing right behind them, and he whoops all of their butts at the exact same time. They are on the ground, they are beaten, they can't go anymore. That was all they had. And Kakashi's like, you really thought that would work? You really thought that you guys trying to trick me was going to work? Alright, you pass. And they're like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, you pass. Because that's what I wanted from you guys. I wanted you guys to work as a team. I hope you guys are ready, because tomorrow we start our official ninja training, and then they go wild and they're celebrating. It's like, yeah, we did it. And the reason I really want to add that fight after Kakashi comes back is I feel like that feels a lot more earned than them just going, yeah, we're a team, and him just going, okay. Because, like, they never show that they're an actual team or unit to Kakashi other than words. And, I mean, obviously, words are pointless. It's your actions that determine what kind of ninja you are in this world. And that is where we are going to end this part. Thank you so much for watching this video. And this is going in post, so I forgot to mention, but yes, Kakashi does say the whole ninjas who break the rules are scum, but ninjas who betray their friends are worse than scum. He does say that. I forgot to put that in. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing, hitting that notifications, hitting the like button if you really liked it. If you didn't like it, feel free to leave a dislike. And please, we are in the infancy of this channel, and I would really appreciate it if you could share this with people who you may think may like this video. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time.